Namaste. I'm Emily with the Collective, and this is a practice to bring you focus. This is somatic yoga. It is both gentle, therapeutic, profoundly centering practice. All you need is a wide open space to lie down. Your living room carpet is actually perfect to slide around on. But if you have hardwood floor like me, you can grab your bedspread and just lay it down. If it's thin fabric, you'll want to put your sticky mat underneath just to stop your blanket from sliding around. So making sure that you have a wide enough space to do snow angels. Lie down on your back and just do a couple. If you hit furniture, if you hit anything, take a moment to move those things out of the way so that you have full room and extension to be and to stretch out. Once you're ready, coming to lie down on your back, bring your eyes to a close. And with your eyes closed, turn on your internal gaze. Just noticing what's there. Sensation, aliveness. Notice thoughts, emotions. You chose this practice today, focused, for a reason. What reason is that? Are you feeling unfocused, out of sorts, scattered, not centered or grounded? Or maybe you have an event, a meeting, or something that you want to be more focused for. When we're focused, we're often disconnected from the body and spending too much time in the head. The somatic yoga is a wonderful way to bring about focus without having to try too hard, because it's all about being and connecting in your body. So today I want you to think less about doing yoga, doing poses, and think more about feeling them. John O'Donohue says, "Our bodies know they belong. It is our minds that make our lives so homeless." Our bodies know they belong. So I'll bring you back to a sense of belonging today. Let's start by connecting with breath. Just start to increase, to lengthen your inhalation. Filling your belly, filling your ribs, filling your chest. And then slowly emptying out through the exhalation. On the inhalation, filling the front of the body, belly, ribs, chest. Let it all be soft, open, and expansive. And exhale, starting to press out all of the breath, every last drop, squeezing navel down to spine. This time on the inhalation, fill the backs of your lungs. So think of breathing into your low back, breathing into your kidneys, breathing into the backs of your ribs and shoulders, and then exhaling slowly out. Inhaling, filling, inflating the backs of the lungs. Fill them open and expand to the floor. And exhale. Let's breathe in both sides, even the side body. Inhale, expand all sides of the lungs. And slowly exhale out, pressing every last drop of air out. This time I want you to imagine that your body is a container. And as you breathe in all the way to your edges. Breathing in all the way to your edges and then hold it at the top. Holding your breath in once you get to the top for 5, 4, 3, and 2. With an open mouth, let it go. Pressing every drop out. Every drop. Again, inhale, filling all the way to the edges of your skin. Fill up. Hold it at the top. Draw in a little bit more, a little sip, 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 sip. Hold it for 7, 6, 5. Soften. 4, 3. Soften your jaw. 2. Open mouth, let it go. Pressing every drop of air out. This time emptying, hold it out at the bottom for 5. Can you soften? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last time, huge breath in, filling up all the way to your edges. Big, expansive opening. Pausing. Sipping in a few more. Hold it for 7, 6. Soften all the way inside. 5, 4, 3, 2. Open mouth, let it go. Pressing every last drop out. Holding it, emptying. Softening completely inside. So rather than clenching your throat to stop the breath from coming in, can you just not breathe? Good, and then breathe when you need to. And we'll start with just a little bit of movement. Go ahead and flex your feet, curling the toes straight up to the ceiling. Bring your legs to hip width distance. And now point your feet. Curl your toes towards the floor. Think of a ballet dancer. Good. Flex your feet. Curl your toes back towards your shins. Spread your toes wide. And point. Curl your toes towards the floor. Flex the feet, toes wide. Feel the skin, the fascia of the sole of your foot, your calf stretching. And now point. Feel the front of the ankle, the shin stretching. One more time. Flex. Good. And point. And now reflexing the feet. Soften a little bit so it's not a super strong flex. And now start to extend your right heel out past your left heel. And then extend your left heel out past your right heel. Reaching from your Achilles tendon, the back of your ankle, stretch your right heel out. And then stretch your left heel forward. So if there was like a finish line in front of your heels, one heel keeps moving past it and then the other. And now start to extend this motion from the back of your knee. So now the knees are reaching with the heels. Just feel the musculature in the back of your leg, lengthening on one side then the other. And now starting to add the length of your hips. The next time you push your right heel forward, push your right hip down in the same direction. And then from your left hip, reach out through your left heel. And then the right. And then the left. You can add breath to this if you like, inhaling one side and exhaling on the other. And again, remember, we're feeling poses today. We're not doing them. We're feeling movements. So become aware of the sensation. You might feel sensation in the low back. So these muscles start to slide and glide. These are muscles that tend to get kind of crunched and locked from lots of sitting. So this is great for them. You might feel sensation in the sacrum, the SI joints, as they rotate and swivel. Maybe you feel sensation in the front of the hips and the belly. As you lengthen the right heel forward, we're lengthening the ascending colon. And as you lengthen the left heel, it's the descending colon. So giving the abdominal organs a nice rinse, lengthening. Great. And now just relax. Relax completely. Find stillness. Allowing the eyes to stay closed and just notice sensation. You might notice tingling in and around the hips, the belly, the legs, the feet. It's almost like an echo of movement. You can feel that flow of energy. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Out of your mouth, let it go. Good. Reach your arms up and interlace your hands behind your head. Interlacing your hands behind your head, elbows wide. Open your elbows as wide as you can, all the way to the floor. And without lifting your head, without lifting your arms, slide your left elbow down towards your left ribs as you slide your right elbow towards the back of your blanket or mat. Good. And just notice sensation opening in the right side ribs. Lightly flex your feet and relax them. And then slide your arms and your head back up to the center where we began. And now the opposite side, slide your right elbow down towards your ribs, reach your left elbow back towards the back edge of your blanket, pause. Just feeling sensation and opening in the left side. And then slide back up through center. Slide the right elbow up and the left elbow down. Take a breath in. And exhale, slide back to the center. Left elbow up, right elbow down. Inhale and exhale. Moving with your breath. Inhaling as you slide, curling, and exhaling as you return. Now try not to lift your elbows, your head away from the floor. So this sliding, gliding movements, very good for the spine, the organs, the fascia. We're replicating a lot of primitive movements. You might think of a snake sliding around, or you might think of the way that you slid around when you were a baby and not yet able to crawl. You might pause somewhere on the side and enjoy the stretch. Or you might pick up the pace a little bit. Try not to take it into effort, into muscling. This somatic work is so much about listening, about gliding, letting the nervous system and these natural movements sync. And see if you can initiate this movement from your upper ribs for the next several rounds. Maybe even think of initiating it from your armpit. And after you finish that next one, just release, keeping your arms interlaced behind your head. We'll pause. Just noticing again that echo of movement. You're not moving physically, but you can feel that echo of movement within, pulsing, tingling, flowing of energy, prana. And take a breath in. Out the mouth, let it go. Combine these two movements. So lightly flexing your feet. Start to slide your right elbow towards the back edge of your blanket, left elbow down towards your rib, and at the same time push your right heel down towards the bottom edge of your blanket, so away from your right elbow. You go to big right side body stretch. You can inhale there, and then exhale to the center. Good, now left elbow reaches away from left heel. Inhale, and exhale. In, exhale, in, exhale. Moving with your breath. Try not to lift your head away from the floor or lift your hands or your elbows. Sliding. Let your limbs be rather heavy. Think of gliding, slithering like a snake. The spine is like a snake. This is so good for rinsing, bringing fluidity to the spine, to the body. You might pause at the top of the movement for a few breaths. Breathe in and out. Good. Go ahead and release. Relax your arms by your side with your palms facing up. And pause. And again, just noticing that echo of movement. Almost like you shook up a snow globe and everything is swirling. Pausing long enough to let the snow settle at the bottom of the globe. Allow your bones to be heavy. Soften your skin and muscles around your bones. And take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale it out of your mouth. Bend your knees, bringing the soles of your feet to the ground at hip-width distance. And bring your arms out into a cactus position. So your upper arms are straight out to the side and the elbows are bent, palms facing up. And now draw your low belly in and down towards your spine. Point your tailbone up towards the ceiling. So it's a rounding of your low back. You feel your abdominal muscles engage. And doing the opposite movement now, rock your tailbone down towards the floor, arch the small of your back. Good. And to know if you're doing this movement right, keep holding the arch. I'm going to slide one hand down. See if you can slide your hand completely underneath your low back. So that you're arching the back. Great. Bringing both arms back out into the cactus position. We'll sync these two movements together. Drawing the low belly in, bringing the low back to the floor, tilt your tailbone up, scooping the tailbone, and then rock the tailbone down, arch your back. Exhaling as you draw the low belly in, scoop the tailbone, scoop the low back. Inhale as you arch the back. And moving with your breath. Of allowing your tailbone to drive this movement. So the tailbone rocks or tilts down to the floor, and as if you're trying to drag your tailbone back towards your shoulders to increase that arch. And then rounding the low back, scoop the tailbone up to the ceiling. We're going to free up the rest of the spine and allow the head to move. So next time you flatten your low back to the floor and scoop the tailbone, allow your chin to lightly lift away from your chest. And then as you arch your back, let your chin lightly draw towards your chest. And scooping the tailbone, rounding the back, chin lifts to the ceiling and to the blanket behind you. And then arching the back, your chin draws towards your chest. Just feeling this pumping action of the spine, of the low back and the sacrum. Waking up and warming the abdominal muscles. You might find a little tiny pause at the top and bottom of each movement, rounding the low back, really scooping and lifting the tailbone off the floor. The chin's lifting. You can relax your jaw, open it. And then arching the back, drawing the chin towards your chest, lifting the heart, breathing and opening through the lungs. And after you finish that last one, release. Relax your legs long, relax your arms by your sides, pausing in between movements just to wait, watch, and listen. Noticing that echo of movement, sensation. Feeling perhaps a little more ease and opening across the low back and the spine, building warmth. Now bring your arms out into a T. Bend your left knee, the sole of your left foot to the ground. Now start to internally rotate your left knee. So your knee, let it fall towards the right leg. And then push on the inner edge of your left foot. And you'll feel your outer left hip lift off the floor. And you arch your back. Good. And then return back to center. Let the outer left hip come back down, sole of the foot down. Good. Again, letting the knee rotate towards the right leg. Press into the inner edge of your foot. Left outer hip lifts, pops off the ground, arch your back. Take a breath in here. And then exhale slowly, allowing the outer hip to come back down. Dropping the left knee, internally rotating, pressing into the foot, arching your back. You can turn your head to the left, take a breath in, and exhale as you move back through center. Moving with your breath now. Inhale as you rotate and spiral, turning the head in the opposite direction. Feel that spiral continue up the spine into your neck. These kind of motions are very good for the spine. Spiraling motions are very good for the spine, the whole body. The wringing out action, wringing out any stuck muscles and tension. You might be feeling sensation, a good stretching sensation, release across the ribs, the low back, psoas. I want you to slow down a little bit, 20%, especially as you lower your hip back down. Let your outer left hip lead the way, nice and slow. Slower than you think you can go. And then slow it down as you twist, turn through the head, take a breath in. And slowing the movement down allows listening, inner listening, syncing mind and body to restore natural healthy movement. We're all born with natural healthy movement. Gets disrupted by many hours of sitting or just standing still. And you might start to add a pause at the top of the movement, just holding there and breathing. Notice if there's a place you can soften. And next time you finish that last movement, release the left leg down, bend the right knee. Internally rotate the right knee, letting it fall in towards the left. Press into the big toe, inner edge of your foot. Start to pop that right hip up, arch your back, take a breath in, and exhale, slowly coming down. Good, internally rotating the knee, press into the inner edge of the foot, lift the hip, arch the back. You can turn your head to the right, breath in, and exhale. Moving with your breath, just noticing. Is it the same on this side? Is it different? These movements are really good for correcting a little bit of scoliosis, which we all have, aligning. And slowing the movement down by 20%. Feel the spiraling up the spine, head and neck turning the opposite direction as the lower body. Slow motion. Slow the descent. You might add a pause at the top, breathing, soften. And then releasing. Extend your right leg long, slide your arms down by your side. We'll pause. Just noticing sensation, what's shifted. Just for a moment, let gravity take over all the work of holding you up in place. You've lived in gravity for so long, sometimes it's hard to notice it. So I like to imagine what it would be like on the moon or on a space station with less gravity. This pose impossible, buoyant. And then notice how this pose is possible on planet Earth. Feel how gravity is making you heavy, pulling your bones down towards the center of the earth. Give up any resistance to that. Let your bones be heavy. Soften your skin and muscles around your bones. Good. Take a deep breath in. Out the mouth, let it go. Let's reset. Bend your knees, soles of the feet to the floor. Interlace your hands behind your head once again with your elbows wide. And now hug your elbows in by your ears. You can kind of squeeze your forearms around the sides of your head. Lift your head and chest up. And now round your back. Do that scooping of the tailbone move we did earlier. Exhale out. And then lie back, elbows wide. Press your elbows into the floor. Rock your tailbone to the floor. Arch your back. Lift your chin. Look back. Jaw soft. Inhale. And exhale, scoop the tailbone, hug your elbows in by your ears, round your spine off the floor. Inhale, lie back, elbows wide, press your elbows down, lift your head, look back, jaw soft, arch. Exhale, scooping the tailbone, elbows in, squeezing, moving with your breath. And feel the opening of pranavayu as you lie back and arch. And as you curl up, feeling apanavayu, building fire across the belly, strength. You might slow it down a little bit, or you might speed it up a little bit this time. Being sure not to muscle through it. This isn't about doing crunches. It's just subtle, energetic connection to the inner body. This is the yoga practice of the inner body. And we don't really give this much thought, but it's so important. You know, like when you have a party and you don't have time to clean, so you shove everything into a closet. And maybe your guests don't see it, but you see it and feel it. Well, it's like that, but times 1,000 with your body. What's going on the inside governs every thought, every action, our emotions. It's so important to connect to this. This is going to contribute greatly to you feeling focused for the rest of your day. But adding a little tiny pause at the top now. As you round, scoop the tailbone. The tailbone might come completely off the ground. Squeezing lightly your forearms in by your head. And then lower down and arch. Lifting the chin, open the jaw, arch the back, lift the head. Good, and release. Relax your arms by your side, relax your legs. Just a short pause. In that stillness, feeling the movement, pulsations, tingling. Notice how much of your body you can feel now as compared to the beginning of this class. Feeling more vibrant, connected, centered. Feeling belonging. Feeling more at home in your body. Take a deep breath in. Out the mouth, let it go. Bending your knees once again. This time feet wider than hip width distance. Arms out into a T. So I want you to rotate both knees to the left. You're going to roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, the pinky toe edge of your left foot, and the inner edge of your right foot. And now push the sides of your feet into the floor, allowing the right hip to pop off the ground, arching your back. Take a breath in. And exhale, swinging your knees back up through center. Allow the right hip to come back down. Now, same thing other side. Rotating the knees to the right, coming to the pinky toe edge of your right foot, the big toe edge of your left foot. Push the sides of your feet into the floor. Arch the back. Take a breath in. And exhale. Good. Back up to center. Now knees rotate to the left. You're on the sides of the feet. Make sure that you're spreading your toes, so really waking up the soles of the feet. Push them into the floor. Arch your back. You can turn your head to the right this time. Inhale. And exhale, pass back through center. Good. Knees to the right, head to the left. Press into your feet, arch your back. Inhale. And exhale. So another spiraling movement. As the knees move to the left and the hips rotate with the knees, you feel that spiraling up the chest in the opposite direction, all the way up through your chin and your arms. Inhaling as you twist. And exhaling as you return to center. Let's see if you can slow this down by 20%. Really letting the inner muscles initiate the movement, rather than those outer muscles, the peripheral muscles, which are kind of quick to act, a little rash. Slow as you can. Feeling the rotation up the spine, all the muscles around the spine, the torso, the back. You might add a little pause at the top of the movement. Breathe. Finishing one more on each side. And then relaxing in the center, relax your legs and arms long. Wait, watch, and listen. They say a good listener is a heart with ears. A heart with ears, no mouth. So no judgment, or going into story with what you feel and sense. Just be that big heart for your body. Allow it. Give it love. And take a deep breath in. And exhale it out. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. And then roll to your left side. Slide your left arm underneath your ear and roll onto your belly. Bring one hand, elbows out wide, one hand on top of the other. Rest your forehead on your hands. Just pausing here for a moment in prone shavasana. I don't think in many yoga classes we get to do prone shavasana, but it's so good for the body. If you're not fond of lying on your belly, see if you can relax here as much as possible and just soften. And do that gravity sensing here. Feel that gravitational pull, tugging your body towards the core of the earth, softening any internal resistance. And feeling as though the back of your body is draping over the front of your body. Breathe into your belly tissue. Breathe into your breast tissue. Breathe into the forehead. Breathe into the low back and the kidneys. Just letting the body reset and orient in this new position. Good. And now slide your right knee, bending it, slide your right knee up, out towards your right hip. And then slide your right leg back out where it was. And now the other side, bend and slide your left knee out towards, up high by the left hip, towards your ribs, and then slide it down and out. Good, sliding the right and out, sliding the left and out. Noticing the rotation in your low back and your hips. You kind of pop that hip up as you bend the knee. Noticing sensation across the low back and the hips. Let your legs and your feet be heavy, so really sliding as you go. Good. Pause next time you come to the center. Just noticing sensation, tingling, pulsations. And now tuck your toes. Press the front of your hips down. Try to reach your heels towards the wall behind you. Feel the backs of your knees stretching. Good. And then now slide your toes across the floor, pointing your feet. And once again, tuck your toes. Lifting the knees away from the floor, press the front of your hips down, reach through the backs of your heels. And then slide the toes out. Once more, flex your feet, curling the toes under, reach out through your heels, press the front of your hips down, and slide the toes out. And now curl the front of your toes under. We'll hold this time. Press the front of your hips down. Press down through your elbows. Start to lift your head up off the ground. Just coming into a Cobra. As you press down through your elbows, think of lifting your belly button up and sliding it forward across the carpet. Good. Still pressing down through the balls of your feet, pressing down through the front of your hips, lifting through your heart. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Let's just pause here for another 15 seconds. Just allowing the body to settle into this pose. It takes time. Some of those muscles initially kind of seize up. They're like, oh God, where are we going? And then the longer you hold a pose, start to release and find a little more ease there. Take one more breath in. And slowly lower down, slide the toes out, point your feet. Good again, tuck your toes under. Press down through your elbows, coil up the spine, lift your chin, lift your heart. Maybe slide the belly button, the skin a little bit further forward, pushing through the balls of your feet, pressing your hips down, lifting through your heart. And release. Slide the toes out. Once more, tucking your toes. Press down, lift your knees, press your hips down, press down through your elbows, coiling up, Cobra. Feeling the length in your spine. Think of coiling the muscles of the low back in towards your spine as the heart pulls forward. And then release. Good. Now we'll do a similar sliding action with the elbows that we did on the back. So you're going to slide your right elbow up towards the top edge of your blanket. Your left elbow slides down towards your ribs. Pause here, just feeling the opening on the right side body. And then slide back up through the center. And then slide right elbow down, left elbow up. And back through center. Good. Inhale as you twist. Exhale through center. Inhale, twist, and exhale. Going slow, let's slow it down by 20%. Just noticing sensation as you lengthen one side and compress the muscles on the other. This is another good sliding snake-like movement. Very beneficial to the spine and the muscles, the organs along the spine. Letting your head, your hands, your elbows be heavy, so really slithering. And the next time you slide out to the right, hold it. Breathe into your left side. And then slide back through center and over to the other side. And hold. Breathe along the right side body. And then slide back through center. Now we'll add this movement with the leg movement we just did. Your blanket might get all rumpled up, but just try not to care too much about that. Just be in your body. So bending the right knee out to the side, popping the right hip up, slide your right elbow to your knee. So coiling in, that's the inhale. And then exhale, push to slide out, heavy limbs. Now left knee curls in, slides up to left elbow, and then push to slide out. Inhale and exhale. Good, heavy arms, heavy legs. Feeling the rotation along your spine, connecting to sensations. And the next time you slide out to the right with your right knee bent, coiling in, tuck your left toes so that left leg is straight. Lifting the left knee, press to the front of your left hip down, and now press down through your elbows. Coil up through Cobra. Pausing here. We'll pause here for about 20 seconds. Soften. Let your body settle into this. Breathing. Feel the length on your left side. Rotation in your spine. Right side's curled in, a little bit compressed. Pressing out through your left heel. Pressing down through the left hip. Coiling up through the heart. And then slowly lower down, head to the back of your hands, slide your right leg back out, slide back through center, and now bending the left knee, slide over to the left. Tuck your right toes. Press the ball of your right foot down, lifting your right knee away from the ground. Press the front of your right hip down. Push down through your elbows and your hands, coil up. Cobra. Good. Can you soften and settle into this a little bit? Feel sensation opening, lengthening across the right side. Little bit of compression in the left. Pressing out through your right heel. Breathing. One more breath in. And then lower down. Slide back through center. Level out your blanket. And now reach your left arm up by your ear. Roll onto your back. Scoot yourself back to the center of your blanket. And relax your arms by your sides with your palms facing up. Relax your legs out long. We'll just pause in between these movements. Notice what shifted since you've been on your belly. Notice sensation. Let gravity make your bones heavy. Now let the front of your body drape over the back of your body. Soften your skin and muscles over your bones. Where there is emptiness, there is room for grace. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Out the mouth, let it go. Good. Now flex just your right foot, curling your toes up towards the ceiling. And then rotate your right toes out to the right. Maybe bringing your pinky toe all the way to the floor, but don't force it. And then lift it back up. Keeping the foot flexed, rotate to the left. Maybe bringing your big toe to the floor, but don't force it. Good. Back up and to the right. Back up and to the left. Release that one. Feel the difference in your right and left leg already. Do that on the left side. Flex your left foot. Rotate your left toes out to the left. Working your left toe, pinky toe towards the floor, but don't force it. Don't bend your knee to get there either. And then back to center. And then rotate in. Maybe the big toe comes to the floor. Don't force. And then up. And then out. Good. So don't pop your hip up or bend your knee to get there. If you don't get there, you don't get there. We're just noticing range of motion of the inner thigh or the thigh bone and the hip joint. You might notice that one side has a greater range of motion than the other. Good. Release. And now both feet at the same time. Keep the feet flexed. Rotate out to the right. And then up. And rotate out to the left. And then up. And then right. And up. And left. And up. And your hips shouldn't be moving. So initiating this movement at the inner thighs, you're just rocking straight across your heel, straight across the back of your heel. Now start to pick up a little speed. And then start to just windshield wiper from side to side. Let your legs be jiggly. And now your toes are going in towards each other and out away from each other. Go from side to side like a windshield wiper from side to side for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Feel all that echo of movement in your legs. So much goodness into the hip joint. You can feel that loosening, that ease flow all the way into the belly, the navel, all the way up into the solar plexus and into the heart. And take a deep breath in and exhale it out. Now letting your whole body relax. And settling in for Shavasana, final rest. Feel the length of your body from the crown of your head to the toes on your feet. Feel the width of your wings, your arms, from fingertip to fingertip across the heart. And feel the length of your spine, from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. Feel your whole body at the same time. It's to have your back, skin and muscles just melting, softening with the sky above.